Look, they're playing a high-stakes game with the math, trying to box us into a corner before we even know the walls are there. They wanna hide behind the law while they build a world that doesn't have a place for us to thrive. It's deeper than that. It's about more than just a lawsuit. It's about the blueprint of our future.
So majestic.
I see the architects of logic drawing lines in the sand, trying to automate the struggle across this digital land.
So majestic.
They wanna keep the calculations locked behind the door, to make sure we stay at the bottom while they're reaching for more. Watch the play. They call it freedom of speech, but it feels like a cage, writing rules that keep us trapped on the historical page. If the machine is the judge and the jury and the law, then who's gonna point out the bias and the fundamental flaws? They're terrified of a world where the data is clean, where the merit is the master and the truth can be seen. It's a battle for the code and the future of the mind, trying to find the balance for the rest of all mankind.
So majestic.
Between the regulation and the freedom we define, looking for the truth that they left somewhere behind. It's real.
Yeah, we looking for the truth that they left somewhere.
Now they're fighting for the right to let the prejudice run through the wires in the serve until the damage is done. Keep your eyes open when you're looking for a home or a way to get ahead. The algorithm's making choices based on things that were said.
Pay attention.
Years ago, in the system that was built to exclude, now it's wrapped in shiny metal and the cold attitude. They say the state shouldn't tell them how to think or to feel, but we're the ones who gotta deal with the weight of the steel. Think about it, it's a digital red line drawn in ones and in zeros, while they try to paint themselves as the technical heroes. It's a battle for the code and the future of the mind, trying to find the balance for the rest of all mankind.
So majestic.
Between the regulation and the freedom we define, looking for the truth that they left somewhere behind. Real talk, real talk.
Yeah, we looking for the truth that they left somewhere.
The gavel's gonna fall on a brand new era of control, trying to put a price tag on the essence of a soul. You can't quantify the strength of the height of the heart, even if you try to tear the whole foundation apart. Exactly. So we standing at the gates of a computerized dawn, wondering if we're the players or just pieces of a pawn. Maybe so. They wanna track every post and every thought that we have, applying digital salt to an ancient old wound. Watch them, but the rhythm of the people is a code they can't break, a frequency of justice that the machines cannot fade. Okay, let them sue every city, then let them challenge the state. They can't stop the inevitable of the hand of our fate. Mark my words, keep your eyes on the logic and your mind on the goal, because the only thing they can't own is the power of your soul. It's a battle for the code and the future of the mind, trying to find the balance for the rest of all mankind.
So majestic.
Between the regulation and the freedom we define, looking for the truth that they left somewhere behind. Real talk, real talk.
Yeah, we looking for the truth that they left somewhere behind.
Don't get distracted by the billionaire bickering or the legal jargon. It's about control, plain and simple, you know. They wanna make sure the new world looks exactly like the old one, just faster and harder to see.
So majestic.
Stay sharp. Don't let them code you out of your own life. Real talk. Peace. You ever look around and realize the walls you thought were there to protect you were actually just keeping you small? Real talk. People get comfortable in the familiar, even if the familiar is breaking them. But I had to step out. I had to see what happened when I stopped playing the part they wrote for me, boss. This is for the transition. The moment you decide to be your own foundation. I spend a decade building someone else's high-rise view, waking up at 5 just to do what they told me to. Every day, the reflection in the glass started looking like a stranger, living in the safety, but I was dying in the danger. I had to pack my pride in the cardboard box and leave. Stop wearing my heart on a sleeve. I didn't believe they said the market was cold and the timing was wrong, but I've been preparing for this since I was 10 years strong. Long time. I took the keys and I changed every lock on the door. Decided right then I wasn't settling for the flow. I counted the cost and I paid it in full with my peace. Now I'm watching the tension and the pressure just release balls. No more clocking in for a dream that isn't mine. I'm finally stepping out of the back of the line. This is the clearing where the old world meets the new. See it clear, I'm the architect of every single thing I do. No more looking back at the wreckage in the rear. I'm the only voice that I'm allowing myself to hear. The foundation is solid and the vision is wide. Real talk, I'm the one turning the pull of the tide. Yeah, I remember the silence when I first walked away. The loudest thing I ever heard in the light of the day. It was quiet, no more static in the ears, no more noise in the brain, just a steady rhythm of a man breaking his chain, planting my feet in the soil of a brand new land, holding the blueprint of my future in my own hand. I didn't need a cosign or a pat on the back, I just needed the courage to stay on the track, keep going. 9 to 5 turned into 24/7, but the hell of the hustle feels a lot more like heaven when you know every brick is laid by your own design, and you don't owe a soul for the way that you shine. Real talk, I'm building a legacy that won't ever fade, from the very first choice that I finally made. This is the clearing where the old world meets the new. All me, I'm the architect of every single thing I do. No more looking back at the wreckage in the rear. I'm the only voice that I'm allowing myself to hear. The foundation is solid and the vision is wide. Oh, I'm the one turning the pull of the tide. It's a lonely road until you realize you're the prize. Stripping away the filters and the clever disguise. You can't build a palace on a plot of borrowed ground. You gotta find the silence before you find the sound. Real talk. So here I am, standing in the center of the frame. No one to credit and no one else left to blame. It's me. I took the crumbs they offered and I turned them into bread, clearing out the clutter that they put inside my head. I'm the boss of the morning and the king of the night, making sure the moves I make are always for the right. I see the people watching, wondering how I survived, but I didn't just survive, man, I finally arrived. The ledger is balanced and the debt is all paid by the sweat of my brow and the plans that I laid. I'm the root and the branch and the fruit on the tree, the only version of myself I ever wanted to be. This is the clearing where the old world meets the new. Straight up, I'm the architect of every single thing I do. No more looking back at the wreckage in the rear. I'm the only voice that I'm allowing myself to hear. The foundation is solid, the vision is wide. Real talk. I'm the one turning the pull of the tide. takes a lot of heart to walk away from what's certain. But if what's certain is killing your drive, then it ain't really worth nothing at all, boss. I'd rather be hungry on my own feet than full on my knees. Build your own, trust your own, trust your own. Real talk, the view is better when you're the one who climbed the mountain. Stay grounded, stay grounded, stay grounded. Sometimes the hardest thing to face is the truth that was living right down the street. We all got secrets, but some secrets got a heartbeat in the name. Me and Mrs. Jones.
It's a heavy situation
when you caught between two worlds. Real talk.
So majestic.
We got a thing going on and it's getting hard to keep it low. Meeting in the same spot where the neon lights begin to glow. Checking on the clock while the world is sleeping in the bed. Thinking about the words that should have stayed inside my head. She's caught between a rock and the place she used to call her home. Looking for a reason why she's feeling so alone. And I'm the one she calls when the walls are closing in. Dealing with the guilt and the weight of every single sin. Yeah, we meet at the cafe every day at 6:30. Looking for a remedy and looking for a quick fix. It's a complicated rhythm when you're dancing on the line, trying to pretend that everything is looking fine. She's got her obligations and I got my own to face, but we find a little peace in this secret little space. Me and Mrs. Jones, we got a story to tell, living in a heaven that feels a lot like hell. Real talk.
Me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on, hiding in the shadows until the break of dawn.
It's a heavy situation,
a weight upon the heart,
wondering how it is
before we even get to start.
Yeah, we caught in the middle of a secret we can't keep, losing all our peace while the rest of the world is asleep. Real talk.
So majestic.
Yeah.
So majestic.
Second verse and the pressure is starting to mount up. Every single second is a moment we can't count up. She talks about her life and the things she's trying to change, while I'm looking at the way the world is looking so strange. It's why we both know what's wrong, but it feels so right in the moment. Feeding on the feeling and the way we both own it. The neighborhood is small and the whispers start to travel fast, wondering if the secret is a thing that's gonna last. She looks into my eyes and she sees the truth I'm hiding in a sea of uncertainty. We both out here riding. It's a dangerous game when you playing with the soul, giving up the pieces just to fill a little hole. We got a thing going on, but the price is getting high. Looking at the truth, then we looking at the lie. It's a heavy situation and we both know the cause. Counting up the game while we looking at the law. Real talk.
Me and Mrs. Jones,
yeah,
we got a thing going on, hiding in the shadows until the break of dawn.
It's a heavy situation,
a weight upon the heart,
wondering how it is
before we even get to start.
Yeah, we caught in the middle of a secret we can't keep, losing all our peace while the rest of the world is asleep.
So majestic. So majestic.
The clock is ticking and the time is running thin. Where does the truth end and where does the lie begin? It's a fragile connection in a world that's so cold, trying to hold on to a story that can't be told. Too much, 3 deep and the reality is hitting like a brick. The feeling is so deep, but the air is getting thick. We walk out the door and we go our separate ways, lost in the cycle and lost in the haze. I go back to my world and she goes back to hers, dealing with the memories and the way the line blurs. Me and Mrs. Jones, we just a chapter in the book that nobody was ever really meant to take a look. Real talk, secrets we keep are the ones that define us the most. Living with the truth and living with the ghosts. I'm building my empire, but I'm carrying the weight of a secret love and the predetermined fate. It is what it is, a moment in the time, caught in a rhythm and caught in a rhyme. The thing we had going is the thing we gotta lead. Wearing our hearts on a tattered little sleeve. It's a heavy thing when you find what you need in the wrong place. Me and Mrs. Jones, so majestic. Sometimes the heart goes where the mind says. Royal D, so majestic. Real talk, so majestic. So majestic. Yeah, it's just different now. You look at the corner store, look at the shelves, and the math just don't add up the same way it used to. Everything's changed. Yeah, I remember walking down the block with a single bill crumpled in my pocket. Just $1, but I felt like I owned the whole inventory. I stepped inside the glass door, the bell will ring, and I spent 10 minutes just choosing a bag of chips, a grape soda, maybe some chocolate on the side. I'd hand over that paper and still hear the change hitting the counter like music. I walk out with 3 or 4 items in the brown paper bag, feeling heavy. Now I walk in with 20 and I'm lucky if the bag even has a bottom to it. The weight is gone, but the cost is climbing higher than the skyline. The price of living turned into the price of just surviving. $1 used to go the distance, now it's barely even driving. Everything is different, the numbers growing while the pockets get thin. Changing times, but we still out here trying to win. Back then, the handful of coins meant a feast for the whole afternoon. We won't worry about the tax or the inflation hiding in the room. We just knew that if we had 4 quarters, we had a full belly and a smile. Now you look at a candy bar and it costs more than the meal did back a while. It's like the world shrunk the value while it puffed up the tags. You see the struggle in the eyes of the people carrying those half-empty bags. I miss the days when a little bit was enough to feel like a lot. Now you need a fortune just to keep the little bit of peace you got. The price of living turned into the price of just surviving. $1 used to go the distance, now it's barely even driving. Everything is different, the numbers growing while the pockets get thin. Changing times, but we still out here trying to win. Maybe it's not just about the money, maybe it's about how fast things move. Trying to find a rhythm when the world keeps switching up the groove. The value shifted, the floor lifted, and we're all just trying to stay grounded. I tell the young ones about the 3 items for $1 and they look at me strange, like I'm telling a fairy tale about a world that lost all its change. They don't know the feeling of a heavy bag for a light price. They only know the struggle of paying double and thinking twice. I look at the storefronts and I see the history of what we lost. It's more than just the items, it's the peace of mind that was the cost. But we keep moving, keep building, trying to make $1 stretch a mile. Even if the world is different, we still gotta find a reason to smile.
price of living
turned into the price of just surviving.
$1 used to go the distance,
Now it's barely even driving.
Everything is different.
The numbers growing while the pockets get thin.
Changing times, but we still out here trying to win.
It's a whole new game out here. $1 for 4 things that feels like a lifetime ago. But we stay authentic to the struggle and the growth. Keep your head up. Peace. I hear you, the message gets lost when the noise is too loud. On point. It is about the space between the words. The quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout to be felt. I see you. Let's get into the layers of this thing. The parts we don't usually show. I found a rhythm in the middle of a restless night, when the only thing I had to guide me was the inner light. It was then I had to peel back the layers of the person I assumed, and face the empty spaces in the garden where I bloomed. I stopped looking at the clock and started looking at the soul. Realized that being half was never gonna make me whole. I took the blueprints of the past and I tore them into bits, refusing to be defined by the holes where the puzzle fits. I am an architect of silence and the builder of the flame, moving past the labels in the wake of a heavy name. I spent 44 years just learning how to breathe, and now I'm watching all the tension start to leave.
This is the moment when the water finally turns to wine.
Taste it. Taste it.
I am the one who had to draw the horizontal line.
It is a sovereign territory in the kingdom of the mind, leaving every single hollow
Promise far behind.
Independence is a fire, and I am the one who holds the match. Watch it burn.
Finally finding the exit,
and I am lifting up the latch. I used to think that freedom was a place that I could go, but it is a frequency that you gotta learn to know. Get in tune to my heart, the 528 hertz, finding all the healing at the center of the hurts. Boss, I am not a product of the system or a cog in the wheel. I ain't the only one who knows exactly how I feel. I spend my days on the site, in my nights in the booth, trading in the fabrications for the bit of truth's gold. I built a bridge out of logic and a tower out of grit, and I am the only one who knows the way that it is lit. No more following the herd or the patterns of the weak. I am the only one allowed to hear the secrets that I seek. This is the
moment when the water finally turns to wine.
it's sweet, it's sweet.
I am the one who had to draw the horizontal line.
It is a sovereign territory in the kingdom of the mind, leaving every single hollow
Promise far behind.
Independence is a fire, and I am the one who holds the match. Light it up.
Finally finding the exit,
And I am lifting up the latch. You can't find a treasure if you're looking at the map. You gotta be the one who is willing to fall into the gap. Take the leap. It is a long way down until you find a solid ground, and you realize that the silence is the most powerful sound. So I am standing on the edge of a brand new day. Watching all the old illusions start to fade away. The master of the craft and the owner of the key, finally understanding what it means to be truly me. I put the work in when the world was looking the other way. Now I am the only one who had the final word to say. I'm a king without a castle and a man without a chain. Finding all the power at the center of the rain. I'm the root and the vine and the harvest in the field, knowing that the only thing that matters is the yield. I have arrived at the summit and the air is getting thin, but I am finally breathing from the place within.
This is the moment when the water finally turns to wine.
Drink deep, drink deep.
I am the one who had to draw the horizontal line.
It is a sovereign territory in a kingdom of mine, leaving every single hollow promise far behind. Independence is a fire, and I am the one who holds the match. It's lit, finally finding the exit. And I am lifting up the latch. It is about the balance. I'm focused. When you stop trying to prove it to the world, you start proving it to yourself. That is when the real work begins on my own. Keep your circle tight and your vision even tighter. The transformation is already happening. It's time. It's time. People love to talk about what they think you are. They see the grind, they see the hustle, but they don't see the heart. It's for the ones who know the difference between the noise and the truth. Real talk.
So majestic.
So majestic. Some people call me the dreamer, some say I'm just out for the gold. But I'm just a man with a vision that's finally starting to unfold. Royal D, I'm a lover of the craft and a fighter for the ones I love. Looking for the blessing that's falling from the heaven up above. No cap, I ain't tryna hurt nobody, I'm just tryna build a path. Learning how to do the logic and learning how to do the math. Real talk, you can call me what you want, it don't change the way I breathe. I'm the one who stayed behind when everyone else decided to leave. I'm the architect of the reality I'm trying to create. No more playing around with the pressure in the face. Time building up the kingdom with a hammer in my hand, doing exactly what I was meant to do upon the land. The vibration is moving and the spirit is finally free. Everything I am is exactly who I'm meant to be. Real talk.
So majestic.
The clock is ticking and I'm focused on the ways to expand. Navigating through the system with a brand new kind of plan. I don't need the validation of the ones who don't know the name. I'm just staying in my lane and I'm avoiding all the games. They talk about the past like it's an anchor on the soul, but I'm using every failure just to make the vision whole. I'm the pilot of the ship and I can see the show ahead, feeding all the hungry minds that were waiting to be fed. It's a different kind of energy, a different kind of flow. Watching all the seeds that I planted finally start to grow. The wind is at my back and the sky is looking blue. Everything is clear and everything is looking new. Final chapter and the truth is looking sharp as a blade, making sure the foundation is a thing that's never gonna fade. I'm a king in the making, a soldier in the field. Everything I do is for the destiny and the guild. So
chest. I'm looking back at the things I used to fear. I'm standing in the moment and the path is finally clear. The joker and the thief, they can stay out in the street. I'm the one who's sitting in the driver's seat. Real talk, real talk. Call me a dreamer, call me a boss. Just don't call me finished. We just getting started. Royal D.
So much at stake.
Real talk, real talk.
So much at stake.
Yeah. We all start somewhere. For me, it was looking at a stack of bills and realizing I didn't want to be a passenger in my own life anymore. It is about that shift in the mind. When you stop asking for permission to survive and start demanding the keys to the kingdom. Real talk. This is for the ones building their own table. Boss. I remember when the $100 felt like a mountain peak, scraping by on the fragments of a dream that felt weak. It was heavy. I had to change the internal clock, stop living for the weekend and start investing in the seeds while the ground was still deepening on it. I cut the strings that tie my hands to a desk in a chair, traded the comfort of a paycheck for the weight of the air. I needed more. Calculated risk became my breakfast, my morning prayer. Now I look at the map and I am already there. On the way, spilled out my work in the sweat on my brow. All of it. Refuse to let a corporation dictate the when or the how. 24 hours in the day and I claimed every second. Mastered the math while the world around me just wrecking ball. No more waiting on a sign or a handout from the top. Once the engine started turning, there was no way to stop. This is the sound of a bird finally leaving the cave. Fly high, rewriting every single sentence on the bottom of the page. I am the owner, the author, in the light and the dark, the one igniting the flame with just a single only spark. Independence is not a gift, it is a territory won. I am standing in the heat of my own rising sun. Real talk, they told me play it safe, stay within the lines of the grid, but I saw the ceiling was a lie since I was a kid. I saw through it, I built the fortress out of discipline and late night calls, tearing down the paper thin limits of these office walls. Tear it down, my bank account is a mirror of the focus I kept, while the rest of the neighborhood just stayed home and slept. Not me. I took the losses on the chin and I turned them to gold. Story of a man who refused to be bought or be sold. Legacy, 365 days of pure raw intent. I know exactly where every single penny was spent. It is not about the car or the ice on the wrist. It is deeper. It is about the freedom to exist and the power. This is the sound of a bird finally leaving the cage. No more chains, rewriting every single sentence on the bottom of the page. I am the owner, the author, in the light and the dark, my path igniting the flame with just a single only spark. Independence is not a gift, it is a territory won. I am standing in the heat of my own rising sun. Real talk, it is a heavy crown, but I wear it with a smile. It fits, walking down a path I had to pave mile by mile. You can't buy this feeling with a loan or a lie.
It is the quiet confidence that looks you right in the eye, boss. Now the phone rings and I choose if I wanna respond. Breaking the cycle in the weight of the poverty bond. It is over. I taught my family how to fish, not just wait for the meal. Making sure the legacy we leave behind is actually real. Our big 10,000 hours put in when the lights were all dim. Now I am watching the cup overflow out the rim. It took a lot of lonely nights to get the vision is clear. Trading every single doubt for a life without fear. I am the captain of the ship, the master of the sea. Finally understood what it means to be truly free. Sound of a bird finally leaving the cage. Spread the wings, rewriting every single sentence on the bottom of the page. I am the owner, the author, in the light in the dark. I see igniting the flame with just a single only spark. Independence is not a gift, it is a territory won. I am standing in the heat of my own rising sun. Real talk. 5 years ago, this was just a thought, a hope, straight up. Now, it is the ground I walk on. Don't let nobody tell you that you got to wait for your turn. Your turn is whenever you decide to take it, boss. That is the real wealth. The power to say no, and the strength to say yes. On your own terms, keep building. Real talk. They paint a picture of paradise, like everything is golden. But even in the sunshine, the clouds can gather quick. Out west, they say it never rains, but when it does, it's a flood you ain't ready for. Real talk.
So majestic.
Yeah, I took a flight to the coast with a pocket full of dreams. Thinking about the money in the Hollywood scheme. Everyone was telling me the sun is always out. No more dealing with the struggle or the worry or the doubt. But I got there in the streets was a different kind of cold. Trading in the truth for a story that was sold. Was looking for the glory, but I found a lot of pain. Trying to keep the focus while I'm standing in the rain. They say it never rains in the land of the free, but the water's rising up and it's hitting at my knee. I'm trying to find a way to keep the head above the wave while I'm looking for the things that I'm trying to save.
So majestic.
It pours, man, it really pours down hard, leaving all the memories and the spirit feeling scarred. I'm a long way from home and the air is getting thin, trying to figure out how the hell I'm gonna win. Real talk. It never rains, but it pours in the land of the gold. Everything they promised is a story being told.
Caught in the middle of a flood in the sun.
Wondering if the journey has only just begun. Yeah, we looking for the light, but we find in the storm. Trying to find a way just to keep the heart warm. Real talk.
So majestic.
Second verse and the palm trees are looking like a trap. Lost in the middle when I'm looking for the map. I see the bright lights and the way they start to fade. Living with the choices and the deals that I made. They said I'd be a star in a couple of weeks, but the silence is the only thing that actually speaks. I'm sitting on the curb with a suitcase in my hand, wondering if I'm ever gonna understand the land. The rain is coming down and it's washing out the ink, giving me a moment just to sit and just to think. Is the glitter worth the grime and the pressure in the chest, putting all the fantasies and the dreams to the test?
So majestic.
It pours, man, it really pours down deep. Secrets in the city that the people gotta keep. I'm a long way from the ones who really know my name, playing in a world where it's all just a game. game. Real talk.
It never rains, but it pours in the land of the gold.
Everything they promised is a story being told.
Caught in the middle of a flood in the sun.
Wondering if the journey is only just begun.
Yeah, we looking for the light, but we find in the storm.
Trying to find a way
Just to keep the heart warm.
real talk.
So majestic, majestic,
The
majestic.
sunshine is alive when the heart is in the drought. Trying to find the exit and I'm trying to find the out.
Royalty.
But the rain is the truth that I finally had to see. Setting all the illusions and the fantasies free. Let it go. 3 deep in the storm is a lesson in the soul. Taking back the power and I'm taking back control. I don't need the glitter and I don't need the gold. I'm staying in the truth and I'm staying in the bold. I'm heading back east where the rain is just the rain and the people understand the reality of pain. I am the architect of the life I'm trying to build, making sure the vision and the destiny's fulfilled. No more chasing ghosts in the middle of the night. I'm focusing on the things that are looking in the light. The rain washed away all the dirt from the past. I'm the one who's building and I'm making sure it lasts. The storm is a gift if you know how to see. Everything I am is exactly meant to be. The sun is coming up and the sky's turning red, feeding all the dreams that I thought were already dead. Real talk.
So majestic, majestic.
Don't believe everything you hear about the golden land. The weather is unpredictable everywhere. But as long as you got that internal sun, you can weather any storm. Royal D, keep it real.
Real talk. So majestic, majestic, majestic.
They think they know you because they see the surface. They see the clothes, the car, the way you walk. But they don't see the scars or the dreams. If you don't know me by now, you probably never will. Real talk.
So majestic.
You see me in the streets and you think you got the red. Looking at the harvest, but you didn't see the seed. We've been walking side by side for a couple of years, but you never seen the struggle or the secret little tears. I'm more than just a name on a list of the greats. I'm the one who survived all the pressures and the fates. If you don't know the heart, then you don't know the man. You just looking at a piece of the universal plan. I got layers to the soul that you never even touched, holding on to things that I probably held too much. You think I'm just the rhythm and the heavy kind of beat, but I'm the quiet whisper in the middle of the heat. If you don't know me by now, then the window is closed. Everything I am is exactly what I chose. We sitting in the room, but we miles apart, looking for the pulse in the disconnected heart. If you don't know me by now, you will never, 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 never know me. I'm more than just the things that I'm trying to show me. It's deep. You looking at the image, but you missing out the soul. Trying to be a part of a heart that isn't whole. Royal D. Yeah, we standing in the light, but you looking in the dark. Missing all the fire, missing every single spark. Real talk. Second verse, in the distance is an ocean in between. Caught in the middle of the things that go unseen. You talk about the future like we on the same page, but you don't know the bird that was living in the cage. I remember days when I didn't have a voice. Now I'm making noise and I'm making my own choice. You think you know the story, but you only read the cover. Looking for a friend and you looking for a lover, but I'm a mystery that's written in the stars, carrying the memories and carrying the scars. No more being understood by the ones who don't care. I'm breathing in the moment and I'm taking in the air. If you don't know me by now, then you never really will. The world is moving fast, but the heart is sitting still. We looking at each other through a lens of the past, wondering if the connection is a thing that's gonna last.
You don't know me by now. You will never,
Never, never, never,
never know me. I'm more than just a thing show me.
It's deep.
You're looking at the image, but you're missing out the soul. Trying to be a part of a heart that isn't whole.
Royal D.
Yeah, we standing in the light, but you're looking in the dark. Missing all the fire, missing every single spark. So majestic.
It's a long road to the center of the truth. Reclaiming all the wisdom and the energy of youth. You gotta look deeper if you wanna see the real. Everything I am and everything I feel. Free deep in the truth is a heavy kind of sound. Building up the temple and I'm building on the ground. I don't need the validation of the ones who don't know. I'm staying in the light and I'm staying in the glow. I am the architect of the identity I hold. Telling all the stories that were never even told. I see the ones who see me for exactly who I am. Following the blueprint in the universal plan. No more being quiet for the sake of the crowd. I'm speaking from the soul and I'm speaking it loud. The ones who know me know that I'm more than what you see. Everything I was and everything I'm meant to be. I'm the light that's breaking through the middle of the night. Everything I do is for the victory and the right. Yeah.
If you don't know me by now,
Then I'm moving on ahead, feeding all the souls that I thought were already dead. Real talk. Understanding is a gift, but truth is a requirement. If you can't see the man behind the music, you're missing the whole show. Royal D.
so majestic. So majestic.
We gotta zoom out and look at the blueprint they're trying to draw for us. It's not just about one company or one state. It's about who defines the truth when the machines start doing the talking. Real talk. Let's get into it.
So majestic.
So majestic. Digital architects building walls with the binary, searching for a ghost in the heart of the machinery. They say the code is neutral, but the data's got a pass, built on a foundation that was never meant to last. Now the law is knocking, asking questions about the lens, while the boardroom's busy making sure the profit never ends. They talk about the speech and the freedom of the mind, but leave the bias of the history trailing far behind. It's a high stakes game where the chips are made of souls, trying to keep the power while they're playing all the roles.
It's a battle for the code and the future of the mind.
Trying to find the balance for the rest of all mankind.
So majestic.
Between the regulation and the freedom we define,
Looking for the truth
that they left somewhere behind. Real talk.
Yeah, we looking for the truth
That they left somewhere behind. They tell us it's about the truth, they're seeking out the light, but every filter added is a shadow in the night. Watch the move. If the algorithm chooses what a human gets to see, then who's the one deciding what it means to be free? Think about it. They're fighting in the courts over rules and over states, while the people on the pavement are just left to meet their fates. A mortgage application or a chance to get a lead, all decided by a system that was never taught to bleed. We need a mirror held to the logic in the gear to see if it's progress or just a brand new type of fear.
Battle for the code and the future of the mind.
Trying to find a balance for the rest of all mankind.
So majestic.
Between the regulation and the freedom we define,
Looking for the truth
that they left somewhere behind. Real talk.
Yeah, we looking for the truth
That they left somewhere. The ink is drying on the laws they try to pass, trying to catch a lightning bolt inside a bottle made of glass. The tech is moving faster than the gavel ever could, doing what they want instead of doing what they should. So we standing at the crossroads of the silicone and clay, wondering which master we're gonna have to obey. Maybe so. Is it the man with the money or the state with the pen, or the automated logic that we're trapped inside again? Pay attention. We gotta be the ones to keep the human in the loop before just numbers in the digitalized group. It's more than just a lawsuit or a corporate-funded fight. It's about who holds the torch and who's standing in the light. That's what they say. Keep your eyes on the horizon and your spirit in the game. Cause once the code is written, it won't ever be the same. Real talk. It's a battle for the code and the future of the mind. Trying to find a balance for the rest of all mankind. So majestic, between the regulation and the freedom we define. Looking for the truth that they left somewhere behind. Real talk. Yeah, we're looking for the truth that they left somewhere behind. At the end of the day, it's our world. We can't just hand the keys over to the highest bidder or the biggest server room, you know. We gotta stay sharp and make sure the truth they seeking includes all of us. So majestic. Keep your head up. Peace. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the climb itself. It is the weight of what you had to leave at the base of the mountain, straight up. You can't carry everyone's expectations and your own destiny at the same time. One of them has to go. I chose me. I had to get comfortable with the quiet. Let's look at the cost of the clarity. I traded the noise of the crowd for the hum of the wire. Stepping out of the circle and into the fire. It is hard. I had to unlearn the lessons that were designed to keep me low and start listening to the things that the heartbeat we know. 44 years of collecting the dust of the road. Finally deciding to lighten the heavy load. Drop it. I am not the man that I was in the winter of the year. I have washed out the doubt and I have faced every fear. I'm building a life out of seconds and out of the truth. Reclaiming the fire that I felt in the days of my youth. On fire, the ink on the paper and the breath in the room. Watching the garden of the mind start to finally bloom. This is the separation of the grain from the chaff. See the difference? I am the only one who can write the final paragraph. It is a lonely transition, but the view is getting wide. I am the one who is steering the pull of the tide. Independence is a mountain, and I'm standing on the peak high up, finding the strength in the places they told me were weak. I remember the nights on the site when the rain would've stopped, watching the water hit the asphalt and the heavy drop. It was pouring. I was thinking about the cold and the way the system flows, while the rest of the world was just caught in the throes. Boss, I am a hybrid of the street and the digital plane, finding the logic at the center of the heavy strain. Real talk, I don't need a crown to know that I am the one in charge. I'm making the small things look incredibly large. I am the master of the frequency and the king of the tone, building the empire while I am sitting here all alone. No more looking for a hand or a way to get through. I am the only one who knows what I am supposed to do. This is the separation of the grain from the chaff. Keep it moving. I am the only one who can write the final paragraph. I gave it all. It is a lonely transition, but the view is getting wide. I'm the one who is steering the pull of the tide. Independence is a mountain, and I am standing on the peak of summit, finding the strength in the places they told me were weak. They want the fruit, but they don't want to dig in the mud. They want the glory, but they don't want to offer the blood. I gave it all. Can't shortcut finally realized that the vision is real. So I'm moving forward with a steady and deliberate pace, finding the beauty at the center of the open space. It is why I am the owner of the vision and the master of the clock, building the foundation out of the solid in the rock ball. I'm not looking for an exit or a way to escape. I'm the one who is giving the future its shape. Real talk, I have arrived at the place where the shadows don't fall. I am the one who's standing at the center of it all. In the root of the tree, in the wind, in the leaf, finding the peace at the center of the heavy breeze. Let it go. I am the captain of the soul and the master of the faith, finally walking through the center of the golden gate.
This is the separation of the grain from the chaff.
Clear vision.
I'm the only one who can write the final paragraph.
It is a lonely transition, but the view is getting wide. I'm the one who is steering the pull of the tide. Independence is a mountain, and I'm standing on the peak. I'm here, finding the strength in the places they told me were weak. The peak is quiet, it is peaceful. You realize that the climb was never about the mountain. It was about the man who had to become strong enough to stand on it.
Keep climbing.
Don't worry about who isn't there with you. Just make sure you are there for yourself. I'm here. The air is different up here. Breathe it in. You know they say the apple don't fall far from the tree, but some trees don't provide no shade, man. Just a name on a piece of paper and a bunch of stories from the porch. This one for the ones who had to figure out how to be a man by looking in the mirror instead of looking up. I asked my mama why the photos always got a hole cut out the side. She just looked down at her hands like she had secrets left to keep. Royal D, the neighborhood talking loud, saying he was out here living fast, while we was in the kitchen hoping that the powdered milk would last. Yeah. Said he had a silver tongue and a heart made out of moving parts, leaving trails of broken promises and a string of heavy hearts. I seen the man at the corner store with the same eyes as mine. He looked right through me like I was just a waste of his time. They say he was a legend in the streets, but the invisible in his own house. Quiet when the rent was due, but always running his mouth. I'm trying to find the pieces to a puzzle that was never meant to fit, digging through the dirt just to find a little bit of grit. He was a rolling stone, but the moss grew thick on our front door. While he was chasing highlights, we was down here settling the score. Now I'm standing on the curb watching the world just spin away, wondering if the debt he left is the one I gotta pay. Real talk, we don't need a name to build a throne from the ground up. Tired of the stories and the ways that the rounds up. We making our own way, no DNA required for the crown. Building up the city while they waiting for the rain to come down. Yeah, we the kings of the jungle with no map in our hands. Turning every struggle into something they can never understand. Real talk, so majestic. Second verse, and the truth is getting heavier than the gold chains. Trying to wash the heritage of failure out of my own veins. They said he had another family 3 blocks over to the west, giving them the same lies and putting their patience to the test. It's crazy. I found a letter in a shoebox dated 1981, talking about he's coming back, but he never made it to the door. Was it a cycle or a circle? Real talk. Am I destined for the same hurt Parents embrace you when your bloodline leaves you in the cold, trading in your innocence for a story that was already told. I'm taking paper just to make sure that my seeds don't feel the breeze of a father who would rather be out here doing what he pleased. He was a rolling stone, but he crashed into a wall of his own making, leaving us to fix the glass and all the hearts that he was breaking. I'm a man now, and I see the path he took was just a trap. Now I'm rewriting the history and I'm burning up the map. Real talk.
We don't need a name to build a throne from the ground up.
Tired of the stories and the ways that the Browns are
making our own way.
No DNA required for the crown. Building up the city while they waiting for the rain to come down. Yeah,
we the kings of the jungle with no map in our hands.
Turning every struggle into something they can never
understand.
Real talk. It's a different kind of weight when you carrying the vacancy, trying to build a future while you fighting with the legacy. Royalty, but the vacancy is space for me to build a bigger room. Flowers still growing even when they say it's only bloom. Watch them grow. 3 deep in the game and I finally realized the truth of it. He wasn't a giant, he was just a man who lost the youth of it. Spent his whole life running from the things he couldn't face, leaving me to run the marathon and finish off the race. I ain't bitter no more, I just see it for exactly what it is. A lesson in the things I never do when it comes to my own kids. I'm the architect of my own soul, the builder of the dream, stitching up the family fabric, fixing every single scene. Real talk.
They can keep the legends in the mist, they tell about the man.
I'm focused on the legacy I'm holding in my own hand. Hold it tight. No more looking back at the memories of a man who wasn't there. I'm breathing in the moment and I'm taking in the open air. The rolling stone finally stopped and it's buried in the past. I'm the one who stayed behind to make the foundation last. Yeah, the stone is still but the river's moving on. I'm the light that's breaking through just before the break of dawn. Real talk. See, a rolling stone don't gather no moss, but it don't build no house neither. We staying put, we building, we growing. I am my own father's son, but I'm my own man first. Keep it moving, but keep it real.
So majestic, so majestic, so majestic,
Look, the map don't show the half of it. They see the blocks, but they don't see the bloodlines. They see the hustle, but they don't see the prayer behind the brick. It's deep. You gotta be more than what they expect of you. You gotta be the one who stays solid when the ground starts to shift. This is for the ones who find the beauty in the struggle. Steady, the street lights flicker like a dying light bulb in the hall. Writing my intentions on the surface of the wall. I watch the corner store become a sanctuary for the lost, counting up the dreams and the heavy mental cost. I am the product of a zip code they try to define, but I'm the one who's drawing a different kind of line. I learned to speak the language of the pavement in the sky, watching how the birds and their heavy spirits fly. I am a witness to the strength of the mothers in the rain, finding all the power at the center of the strain. I took the fragments of the broken glass and made a view, realizing that the old world is waiting for the new. This is the pulse of the block. When the sun goes down, stay up,
finding the jewels in the middle of the town.
I am the owner of the vision and the master of the street, keeping the rhythm in the middle of the heat. Independence is a root that grows under the floor. Real talk, opening the latch on a brand new door. I remember sitting on the stoop when the air was getting cold, hearing all the stories that the older brothers told. They talked about the traps and the way the system falls, but I was looking for the fire that the inner spirit holds. I built a fortress out of logic in the world of pure noise, maintaining the focus and the internal poise. I am a hybrid of the struggle in the digital age, finding how to write a brand new sentence on the page. I don't need a cosign to know that I am the king. I am managing the weight that the responsibility can bring. The asphalt is a teacher and the sidewalk is a test. I am putting all the theories to a physical rest.
This is the pulse of the block when the sun goes down.
Keep moving,
Finding the jewels in the middle.
finding the owner of the vision and the master of the street. Keeping the rhythm in the middle of the heat.
Independence is a root that grows under the floor.
Boss,
Opening the latch on a brand new door.
it's easy to get lost when the walls are getting high, but you gotta keep a piece of the blue inside your eye. You can't build a future on a foundation of fear. You gotta be the one who makes the message very clear. Real talk. So I'm standing in the center of the A13 frame, knowing that the focus is a different kind of game. It's mental. I am the author of the movement and the master of the block, building the foundation out of the solid and the rock. I see the young ones looking for a sign in the dark. I'm trying to show them how to handle the spark. I am the root of the tree and the wind in the street, finding all the rhythm in the middle of the beat. Real talk. The harvest is mental when the yield is the peace. Watching the grip of the old world release. I am the captain of the soul and the master of the faith, finally walking through the center of the Golden Gate.
This is the pulse of the block when the sun goes down.
Straight up,
Finding the jewels in the middle of the
owner
door.
of the vision and the master of the street. Keeping the rhythm in the middle of the heat. Independence is a
Root that grows under the floor.
boss.
Opening the latch on a brand new door.
Don't let the environment dictate the output. Stay grounded.
You are the architect,
You are the architect.
whether you're on the corner or in the office.
The mindset stays the same.
It's internal,
Own your space.
on your time.
Own your truth. Real talk. The neighborhood is what we make it.
Keep building.
You ever feel like you pre-programmed to fail? Like your environment set your potential to subprime from the very beginning. We need to reset. I was born in the default, and I'm a default from the start. Trying to find a rhythm in the weary little heart. They tell me that the future is eventually a gift, but I'm standing on the sidewalk and I'm trying to find a shift. The world is just a factory and the people are the parts. Fighting for the power and fighting for the charts. My dreams are on the menu, but the value's in the red, while the whole reality is a falling in the red. I got memories of a comfort that I couldn't really keep. Trading in my happiness for a couple more to sleep. The safety net was supposed to catch the fall, but the threads were getting weak and I didn't see it at all. I tried to finance happiness, but the APR was deep. Thinking of the payments and the promises to keep. The utility bill is a poetry of pain. Finding all the logic in the middle of the brain. I'm a default setting, reset. Ignoring all the judgment, and ignoring all the threat.
Trying to find the balance,
and trying to find the light.
breaking through the darkness of a cold and heavy night.
Default
Setting,
I saw a man in silk telling me to just believe, while he's hiding all the answers up a custom tailored sleeve. He said the sky is open if you really wanna fly, but he didn't mention taxes on the limit of the sky. The system is a virus, and the virus is a scheme to keep you inside the reality and keep you from the dream. I'm working for a fraction of a cent, while the majority of me is being eventually spent. They garnish all my wages, but they cannot garnish soul. I'm still moving forward and I'm heading for the goal. My name is just a number on a cold and heavy file, walking through the courtroom with a weary kind of smile. The world is just a grocery with a dozen empty aisles, hiding all the saw behind a dozen fake smiles. I'm a default setting, but I'm ready for the reset.
ignoring all the judgment,
and ignoring all the threat.
trying to find the balance,
And trying to find the light.
breaking through the darkness of a cold and heavy night. Default setting,
Taking on the logic that they taught me to believe, but the heart is gonna open in a different kind of sleeve. You can't buy the fire when the soul is feeling cold, and the story of the comeback, arrogant, getting told. So I'm facing up the truth and I'm looking at the cost, finding all the pieces of the things that I've lost. I turn the red and green with the power of the pen, doing all the math again and then again. The system wants to break me and it wants to keep me low, but I'm the only one who's gonna make the spirit grow. I'm moving through the numbers with the focus and the fire, lifting up the spirit and lifting it much higher. My dreams are on the market, but the value's in the head, while the whole reality is a falling in the red. I don't need a wallet for the glory in the mind, leaving all the limitations way too far behind. One day the math is gonna add up, and I'm gonna be the boss, and I follow all the passion and I'm following the laws. I'm making all the payments with the currency of truth, proving to the world that I am finally aloof.
I'm a default setting,
But I'm ready for the reset,
ignoring all the judgment,
and ignoring all the threat.
trying to find a balance,
Trying to find the light.
breaking through the darkness of a cold and heavy night. Default setting,
Don't settle for the factory settings. They gave me find your own frequency, create your own logic, reset the whole damn program. You gotta be able to see through the fog before you can find the path. They say the rain is meant to wash away the pain, but sometimes it just reveals what was already there. I can see everything now, real talk.
so majestic.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone and the clouds parted. Thinking about the journey and how far back we really started. All the obstacles in my way, I seen them from a mile out. No more hiding in the shadows or wondering what the trial's about. I can see the fake handshakes and the smiles with the teeth sharp, navigating through the darkness, trying to find a piece of art. The sun is shining like a spotlight light on the moves I'm trying to make. Learning how to tell the difference between the real and the fake. I was blind to the patterns, but the vision finally opened wide. Found the power in the struggle and the strength I had inside. Every storm was just a lesson trying to teach me how to swim. Now the water's calm and I'm looking over the brim. The jet is gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day for the crew, turning all the gray skies into something fresh and new. I can see the finish line and I'm picking up the pace. No more looking back, I'm focused on the winning. Real talk.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Everything we built is finally coming along.
No more obstacles, the vision is straight.
Opening the doors and we walking through the gate.
The sun is out and the vibration is high. Reaching for the stars
while we looking at the sky. Real talk.
So majestic.
Second verse and the view is better from the mountaintop. Started from the basement, now the grind is never gonna stop. I remember days when the mist was thick up on the glass, praying for the clarity and waiting for the storm to pass. Now the colors are so vivid and the path is paved in gold, following the blueprint and the stories that were never told. They tried to tell me that the weather was a permanent state, but I knew the sun was coming, I just had to wait for the day. Look at the horizon, see the way the light hits the flow. I ain't looking for the window, I'm walking through the door. Every drop of rain was just fuel for the garden in my mind, leaving all the cloudy days and the bitterness behind. I can see the truth now, it's written in the morning dew, doing things differently for the sake of the few. No more looking through a lens that was cracked by the past. I'm the one who made the vision finally meant to last. Real talk.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Everything we built is finally coming along.
No more obstacles, the vision is straight.
Opening the doors and we walking through the gate.
Sun is out and the vibration is high. Reaching for the stars
while we looking at the sky. Real talk.
So majestic.
The fog lifted and the world looks brand new. Different perspective from a different kind of view. Royalty, clear skies ahead. No more worry in the soul. Taking back the power and I'm taking back control. I see it 3 deep and the clarity is hitting like a lightning bolt. Waking up the system and giving it a heavy jolt. I see the ones who stayed when the thunder was rolling in, and I see the ones who left trying to figure where I've been.
So majestic.
The air is crisp and I'm breathing in the victory, rewriting the pages and the local history. I can see the legacy I'm building for the ones to come. No more being solid, no more playing being dumb. The brain didn't break me, it only made the foundation strong, proving all the doubters and the critics they was always wrong. Looking at the world through a lens that's focused on the light. Everything is sharp now, everything is looking bright. I'm the captain of the ship and I can see the shore ahead, feeding all the hungry souls and making sure they all get fed. Yeah, storm is over and the sky is blue and gold. The greatest story ever lived is the one that's being told. Real talk.
So majestic.
Once the rain clears, you see everything for what it really is. No more guessing, no more wondering, just pure vision.
So majestic.
We seeing clearly now.
So majestic.
You ever meet somebody that just resets your whole vibration? Like everything before them was just a rehearsal for the main event. It's that brand new feeling, real talk.
So majestic.
So majestic. I was walking through the shadows with a heavy kind of heart, thinking about the ways that the world was falling apart. Royal, then you stepped into the light and the frequency shifted. Like a heavy kind of weight was finally being lifted. You make me feel brand new, like I just started the race. Finding a different kind of peace when I look at your face. I was lost in the rhythm of a broken kind of song, but you came along and showed me where I really belong.
It's a brand new energy, a brand new kind of light.
Everything is sharp and everything is looking bright.
You took the pieces and you made them whole again.
More than a partner, you my soul's best friend. The vibration is
high and the vision is so clear.
No more living in the shadow of the doubt and the fear. Real talk.
So majestic.
Yeah. The sun is coming up over the edge of the hill, and for the first time in a long time, the heart is sitting still. Yeah. I'm building up the future, and I'm building it with you. Following the blueprint and the things we gotta do. Legacy. I remember days when the air was getting thin, but now I'm breathing deep and I'm ready to begin. Real I'm the architect of the life we tryna share. Taking in the moment and taking in the air. It's a different kind of pulse,
a different kind of beat.
Rising from the pavement and
rising from the street.
You gave me the reason to keep pushing for the crown, and I'm never gonna let the negative bring us down. Everything has changed and I finally see the truth. Reclaiming all the wisdom and the spirit of the youth. I'm the king of the castle and you the queen on the throne. Building up a world that is strictly our own. No more looking back at the mistakes I used to make. I'm focusing on the steps and the path we gotta take. You make me feel brand new, like a fresh coat of paint. Giving me the strength when the heart is feeling faint. Real talk. Sometimes you just need a reset, a new frequency, a new life.
Royal D,
Royal D,
brand new,
so majestic.